How's it going, guys? It's your boy Apex Raptor here today, showing you how to make a thumbnail sorta like this one. This is pretty much going to be a tutorial on how I make my thumbnails and whatnot like that. So first of all, I always make a new image. I put it to thumbnail. I have my own thumbnail template. If you guys want to copy this down, you can. I use a transparent background usually, so 1920 by 1080, and I just hit OK. So to start out, I actually have a image here that I will use. You can just drag in an image of a game that alright, hold on. I need to find that photo. Alright, so once you have dragged your photo into Photoshop, you're just going to drag it to the top left hand corner, and you're just gonna full size it. So pretty much just do that, and I think it's a little too big. Not 100% sure. Yeah, just get it as best as possible. It doesn't need to be exactly right, but it just needs to be as best as possible. Now over here I have a picture of a bear 50 cal completely cut out, and I'm going to show you how to do this. As you can see, like I do have a little bit messed up here. But you can obviously take more time on it. This was just a quick thing I did. So to do this, all you gotta do is get this little tool right here. It should be automatically on this, but right click it and hit polygonal lasso tool, and then you should be able to go around the outer edge of the gun and pretty much just cut it out as best as possible. I'm sure you guys know how to do this. You just click, 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 and then you just once you get all the way around, let's just say I already selected the rest of the gun, once you get around here, you're just gonna want to go back. You're gonna make a point right in the middle, and then you're going to select it like that. You're gonna hit Control C on your keyboards, which is copy, new layer, Control V, and then it should paste it right in that exact spot. If you've done it correctly, it should paste it in that exact spot. And what you can do with this is it's a completely separate layer, so you're allowed to move it around or do whatever, but we're gonna keep it in that spot. And as you can see, what we can do with that then is add, say, outer glows. You can change the size of it, but we're not gonna do any of that yet because we didn't actually cut out the gun. I have the gun cut out right here. I'm going to Control C, Control V, paste it. I have to move it myself because I pasted it a different way. Alright, so there. Once you've done that, what I usually do is I mess around. Alright, so you can see these, I don't know which one your thing's going to be on. I don't know if it's going to be on libraries, adjustments, or what, but change it to adjustments. What you're going to do is you're going to go to brightness and contrast. What I do is whenever, like, click on the very bottom one, and then bring the brightness down, the contrast up, and then curves, you're going to want to bring this one down a little bit and this one up. You can do this to your liking, of course. I just do it pretty much like that. And then exposure, you can mess with this however you want to. I don't suggest changing it too much because then it just looks like really bad, but just change it to your likings, guys. That's not hard to do. What I'll do is, if you have like a color scheme for your channel, you want to go to color balance and you want to go to that color scheme. So say your color scheme is green, you want to kind of put a green tint. Say your color scheme is yellow, you want to put a little bit of a yellow tint. Not too much, just enough to where you can kind of see it. Like that's usually what I do with my thumbnails right there, as for the color correction side of things. And then usually if it's too bright, I'll go to levels and I'll bring this over. So once you're done with that, you want to go ahead and select that bottom photo again, go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur. You can do this however you would like to. I gave it a good bit of blur because I don't like it to be like, I don't like it to be too seeable. If that's too much for you, you can always Control Alt Z, I think it is, and then re-blur it, you can go to blur, Gaussian blur again, and yeah. I'm just gonna do a 4.1 because that's usually around what I do. I'd usually do about a 5. Now, as soon as we hit 400 subscribers, I'm gonna release my 400 subscriber GFX pack, which will then include cutout guns automatically, which you guys can use, which you guys can then use for your thumbnails. But all right, so let's move on to the next step. Next step is I create a new layer. Usually, I get my gradient tool. I usually don't use the rainbow gradient. I don't know why it's on that, but I'll usually use like a yellow gradient. You can, this is optional, you can do whatever you want with this. Just wait. Alright, go to this one that goes to transparent, click on this left one, and then change it to yellow. Okay, and then what you're gonna do is drag just a little bit. Alright, I messed that up. Hold shift and drag a little bit up, so kind of like that. You can mess around with that a little bit. I don't know why it looks slanted. I guess it's slanted a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, I guess it's just the way I'm looking at it. Anyways, you can adjust your opacity. I usually do about 88. That looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks pretty okay. Now what I'll do is Control J is duplicate layers. So what I'll do is the bottom one I change to color dodge, and then the top one I adjust the opacity of the most. So yeah, I'll do that, and then right below these two layers make another layer. I know this is a lot of layers for you guys, but just trust me, it'll make your thumbnails look at least 10 times better. So go to render clouds, and yes, you can do clouds on, I think you can do clouds on GIMP. I don't know if you can do a lot of the stuff that Photoshop can do though. I know you can do clouds though because I've done it before. Change your primary and secondary colors to white and black. Keep black up top. Alright, now go to render clouds, and then what you're going to want to do is bring the opacity down a lot, like a lot. So I usually bring it down to like a point where I can just barely see it. Yeah, so then it'll kind of look like this, and then what you're going to want to do is on the, you're going to want to make a new layer. I know, more layers, I know. Get a paintbrush, change it to yellow, and make sure it's the hardness is all the way down. You guys are gonna make jokes about that. That's what she said. I know. I usually do like a little thing like that. You can do that to your likings though. You can like make some cool lighting effects with this. You know, whatever you want to do with it, just do that, and then hit Control J, and you're basically going to do the same thing that you did with these two layers. So I'm going to name these gradient top. Okay, I didn't finish spelling that. Top gradient bottom clouds. Okay, so on these ones you're just gonna name it light top. Alright, so light top, what you're gonna do is you're gonna put it to, you're gonna keep it on normal, and then the bottom one color dodge again, and then the top one you're gonna adjust the opacity of. You're gonna want to try to keep it as the same as this. I'm just gonna put this one to 46 as well, and as you can see this one's 46. So as you can see, we're kind of getting there. You guys can see we're kind of getting there. Not too much, but we're kind of getting there. Alright, so now I move on to the gun. We're going to rename this gun, and we're going to need to duplicate that one as well. So yeah, go to blending options. You're going to go to outer glow. Make sure the size is pretty decent. Just change it to your likings. Of course, that's what I say with all of these, but yeah, change it to your likings. Keep it on normal. I always keep mine on normal. And then opacity, again, this is whatever your likings are. I usually do 46 because it's the same as these other yellow ones. change the color to whatever this color is. So that would be yellow, and try to do something like this. Try to do the gradient one. I always anti-alias mine. That's based on preference. And then, as you can see, we're kind of getting there even more. Now with this one, you're gonna actually delete it and then Control J it again. And the bottom one, on your outer glow, you're gonna put it on color dodge. And then for the top one, you're gonna put it on, keep it on normal, and then adjust the opacity of the bottom one. Keep the opacity on the bottom one at 100%. Top one, we can wait. Alright, wait, I messed this up. 46. You're gonna adjust the opacity of this right here. 46. If you want it a little better, if you want it a little bigger, you can change it, but that's basically what I do on the gun side of things. Now, you're gonna go to light top and you're gonna make a new layer. Wait, no, I did that wrong. Actually, go to clouds and hit make a new layer. So now you should be left with one last layer. This is the last layer we're going to use. What you're going to do is you're going to get a black gradient. So change this to black, change that to transparent, and you're going to want to do a cool little lighting effect like this, and then bring the opacity down a bit. So right like that. And as you can see, we're getting there. You can change the size of the gun if you want. I always make it a little bigger. And then, yeah, that's usually what I do with the gun. But now we can move on to text. And hold on, I just want to do one thing. This is based on preference. You can do this if you want. I did that wrong. Wait, did I? Alright, I just do this because, I don't know, I feel that it can look good in some cases. Bring it down to like a 3, and yeah. So now that we have these two, you know, this really isn't doing anything. I'm just gonna delete it. This, I want to bring the opacity down to like a 1. Alright, so now that we've done all this, we can finally make our text, which will make a new layer, but I don't consider it a layer because it's not rasterized or anything. Alright, so there's a font that I use called Dharma, and another font that I use is Champagne and Limousines, so this one, and Rock Elegance, which is the Apex font. Alright, so right now I'm going to use Dharma Gothic Bold. I will just write booty. Actually, no, let's write chicken. I always do caps lock. Chicken, and we'll keep that yellow, and then we'll make another text layer, Mick Nugget. Actually, we'll just do Nugget. Okay, so try to make the bigger word, like if you're using the same font size, try to make the bigger word, so which would be chicken, the one with more characters, which is chicken. Just for looks, try to make it smaller, so as you can see, like chicken nugget, like nuggets bigger. It just looks cool, guys. Now for styles, the bottom one I always do like a white. I have a layer style made. If you guys want to copy these settings, I'll scroll through them here. You guys can copy those down. You can pause the video at any time and copy those down. Now this one I do this green one, and then I go to color overlay and I make it yellow. So you can copy these settings, as you can see. So yeah, like I said, you can pause the video at any time and copy those settings down, but that's pretty much what they look like. Now, what you gotta do is right click, hit rasterize layer style. Right click chicken and hit rasterize layer style. You want to do that because if you rasterize type, it'll still have the layer style on it. And for those of you who don't know what Photoshop is, you probably don't know what I'm talking about, but just trust me on it. You're gonna want to rasterize layer style. Now, you're gonna want to select both of these. If you don't know how to select two at once, hold Control and click them, and then right click and hit merge layers. It should merge them both into one layer. So as you can see, they're all one layer. If you move them around, if you move them around or anything, it should all be one layer. Move that behind the gun. So now you can see, like, if I move it back here, it's behind the gun. So now what we're gonna want to do is to tilt the text, you do this, you hit Control T, hold Control, and then drag these corners. So say you want to tilt it that way, that's what you do. You do that. Say you want to tilt it like where the top is like downwards, you would do something like that. And so it's like tilted, back. What I usually do is kind of like that, but then I bring that inwards a little bit. So it's alright, hold on, let me redo this completely. So I drag it out like this, and then I bring this one back a little, so it's like that. And then I'll do something like that, something cool, so it looks cool and everything. And yeah, that's pretty much how I make my thumbnails. You can see there's some more examples of it here, but oh, I forgot one step. So this is optional, but you can put a stroke on your text to make sure it's outside. I usually do about 5 pixels, and you can do whatever color you want. I usually don't do black because it doesn't, or white because it looks so pixelated with white. I don't know why, but it looks so pixelated. So I never do like white, but I did it for this example just because just to show like what you can do. But yeah, that stroke, it's obviously optional, but it definitely makes it look a lot better. I usually do black. That's what I do for stroke, and you can adjust the opacity on that any way you want. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. That's how I make my thumbnails, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and if you guys use my thumbnail tutorial, make sure to link me to the video so I can see your level of skill, and maybe if you lack on something, I can help you out a little bit. I don't know, just to see what you guys make out of this. I want to see what you guys can do with this. But yeah, anyways, if you guys enjoyed, smash the like button below, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.